Hi guys! Over on my YouTube channel I have just flipped through this finished pocket page notebook, but I thought I would keep this one just for you guys, so I'll have a flip through here with you. This is just a regular pocket page notebook, but you will see it is pretty fat and it did explode. I did manage to pop this one, so really hard to show you. I have just poked a few extra holes in there and stitched this baby back together. It was this one here that did explode it. Oh, I know why. It was once I added the mixed media to this page here, but I'll explain that soon. The whole thing just fell apart, so I have added a little bit of tape just to reinforce this page to make sure that it stayed together with the stitching, and then just use some embroidery thread to stitch that all together to make sure it never falls apart and I don't lose any pages anywhere. This notebook I filled up fairly quickly. I think that's only what, 3 months, so that's not bad going for me. Definitely quicker than most notebooks. And for this page I did again add a little bit of something so that the stamping wasn't going directly on the page. It's probably something I'll carry on doing because it does often ruin the first page of my notebook, which means I end up having to cover it with something. This was a page I did for Fed Your Craft using one of the digital stamps to create a cut file, and I made a little cut file sandwich, this hanging plant, which I could staple into the top of my page, and then I get this fun see-through element for both sides of my page, both sides of my spread, sorry. And I really loved how this turned out. This was one of my favorite kits, and I can't even remember the name of it, sorry. It was definitely from February or March, no, definitely February. But all of these little digital plants and succulents, so cute. I printed and cut those out quite a few times. This was a page that I did for Kelly Stamps because of the requests I got for how I put together this page here. So you can see it's almost identical, it's pretty similar, but it was just to show the techniques of using this multiple color repeat stamping, and then how to get a 3x4 photo and card in the back of here surrounded by sequins. So that was a fun page to put together, and I didn't mind doing it again. I don't think there's anything wrong with I guess, I mean, can you call it scrap lifting if it's your own pages? I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a page that you've done and really liked how it turned out and then repeating that. If something works for you, why try to make things harder for yourself by coming up with something new? So as you can see, I mean, they're basically exactly the same, but they still look different. There's always ways of changing things to make them look different. Could I? I probably could. I think you could use like 1 or 2 sketches and through an entire notebook, especially if you were doing something like a travel notebook. Pick 2 or 3 sketches or 2 or 3 pages that you've done in a previous notebook and just use that throughout the whole book. Don't make things hard for yourself. If you're going to do a whole project, or for instance like Week in the Life, I did pretty much the same thing. I think it's that repetition that makes, well, 1, it makes it easy for you, and 2, it just means that you know that it's going to look good when you're finished, so you don't ever end up with a spread that you think, ugh, I wish that was different. Here's the fun page that I worked on for our second goal for Patreon with the printable kit. Still love this, still love list journaling. That's still it's my go-to for journaling, really. I was going to say one of my favorite journaling techniques, but let's be fair, I don't journal a lot. This is probably the only way that I can manage to get words onto a page. This was one of the process videos I put up for you guys a few weeks ago from Kelly Stamps, and a really simple page, but again I enjoyed putting together this sort of ombre band-aid stamped page with the multiple photos. I don't often put multiple photos on a spread, and I always enjoy it when I do, so it's something I'm gonna make a conscious effort to attempt to do more often. This was a page I had done for Citrus Twist, and this is where this notebook all fell apart. I've mentioned several times that when I work in a notebook, I don't work from front to back. I work all over the place, depending on what I want the page to be. For my pocket page notebooks, you can see that not every page has a pocket. That's because I take them out. So when you buy a pocket page notebook, every spread has a pocket in it. I don't tend to use the pocket page notebooks as they are because the way I create, they get too fat for me to film for you guys with. So I take out several pockets from the book, which is easy enough to do. You just lift the pocket up. I use scissors to really carefully cut along one side. Then I just flip the book over and pull the pocket out. So it's really easy to remove them. Either that or I lift the staples in my notebooks and pull out half of the pages and create two notebooks out of one. So this is one of the notebooks where I have removed the pockets, and I did this, I think it was a challenge, a Traveler's Notebook page challenge for Citrus Twist. And I had done this sort of quilty look, but I wanted to put some mixed media in the back of here. I did use gesso, some clear gesso on the page, but I probably needed to add some masking tape or something down the middle, because once I added the wet media, it did kind of leak underneath here, and where the staples are, this is the middle page of the notebook, so it just basically destroyed the join of where the staple was. So this page fell out almost immediately after I had finished working on this page, so that's why I ended up having to stitch the book back together. I figured that stitching it was going to be easier than trying to re-staple, especially given the fragility of some of these pages now, so I have had to add, and I just added some sellotape because that was easiest. It was clear, so I can still see the page underneath. Obviously there is this sort of glossy line down the middle, which is a little bit annoying because this was a really fun page that I had worked on for Pink Paisley with my birthday, and it took me quite a while to do this background, this balloon modeling paste background. I made that stencil, and you can see the paint has leaked through in several places, which is slightly disappointing. Also, it lifted the glue underneath my balloons. So it's probably why I don't often work mixed media in these notebooks. Next time I probably won't do it straight into the book. I'll work on separate pages, separate paper, and then glue it in once it's finished. And again, you can see it's the same thing here. It's leaked through and kind of, well, not ruined it, but it certainly has made it a little bit messier. This was a collab that I did with Alice for Sunday. What's it called? Sorry. From Rosie Studio, the Mimosa Sunday line, which I really love. My favorite is this little croissant and the tiny little croissant puffy sticker. It has just peeked underneath here. Probably it's helped because this is pattern paper that I've stuck on top. I imagine under the pattern paper it is very blue indeed. But this was a fun little page to put together, and we did the giveaway on our channel, which one of you won. So how fun. Now this is a page, I think I've stuck two pages together in here just to help it be a little bit more stable. This was a fun page I did with my favorite little buddy. I printed a photo. There's definitely a process video for this. This was for Feed Your Craft, and I extended this photo up so that I could add this stamped background onto the back of it. And I think when I did the video, I said afterwards I kind of didn't love how this ombre stamping looked, and I'll be honest, I still don't. I would rather have had this light grey the whole way up rather than adding the black into here. I find the black really dominating. This sort of top half, this empty top half of the photo is really dominating, especially having the title up here as well too. But I think sometimes you have to do these things to work out what's not going to work. Was no way to know that was going to happen until I had actually done it. So Now I know I won't add black to the top of an empty photo like this, but again I've got my numbered journaling because that's the only way I get my words on here, and I still love it because this little face is so cute. This is him about to eat my nose off because that's what he enjoys doing, dribbling all over me. This was a fun page, another cutie on this page that I did with some printables from Marissa Loren, and there's definitely a process video for this one too. Her printables were really beautiful. There was so much in the kit to choose from, and so this ends up being a super bright and colourful page. I had to add some sequins, and I've still got this little sequin mix that I put together just with the colours in this page. And a little photo of my Lila and a spa day, which is fun. Well, fun for me, not fun for her. These photos are definitely me bribing her to sit there and have a photo taken because she's very unhappy with me after I give her a spa day. My No Drama Llama page, and actually now that I've done this, I used the Mimosa Sunday line again for this with the llama punch that I got sent from American Crafts, and now I've got the new what's the name of that brand, the No Problema line from Unity. I kind of want to remake the page again because now I've got all this No Drama Llama sort of stuck in my head, and now I've got the appropriate papers for it as well. I'm glad that I covered up my initial journaling in here and just added the background cutout. I really do like how when the pocket sort of doesn't sit properly, it looks like a drop shadow, and it just looks so much tidier than my handwriting. I wish I could get over my handwriting thing. Maybe I need to do some practice, some handwriting practice, but I much prefer a typewriter. And this was a little page I put together just for, this might have been for International Scrapbooking Day too, for Paige Evans and Pink Paisley. A really fun technique that I got up very early one Saturday morning to do. Just a whole bunch of scraps from all of the Pink Paisley lines and a border punch, and then just created this bordery rainbow, added some silly photos and a title, and yeah, this is going to be my favorite page in here. There's no process video for this one. Like I said, I was up very early in pajamas, but a really fun, easy technique to do. Alice sent me a card that looked like this, and I think she was inspired by something that Paige herself had done. So this was the circle closing. It was a really fun page. And that's it. That's all of the pages in this notebook. So that's another 2 notebooks done. And I will say these have been sitting on my desk for a while now. So that's the start of June. That's the end of June. So for a month or so they've been sitting here finished. And I am just about, I'm going to say 3/4 of the way through another one. So I do plow through these notebooks. But I love looking through them with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again very soon. Bye guys.